Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Figured I'd get started a little bit early. Fortunate, it's a busy live night, so thank you for joining this one. You could have been anywhere, and you have chosen to be here. So I am very appreciative of you. Oh, and I didn't bring my mic out, so I'll try not to get too far away from the phone. Okay. So welcome in. Hey, aunties. Let's see. Let me see who's all. I see you, but I know there's others. So let me get to the front. Hey, Dahomey. Good to see you. Hey, Lovestown. Billy. Okay, hold on. Let me see myself because I want to make sure I'm sitting where I can be seen, right? Hey, Mr. Russian. Good to see you. Okay, why is this not changing for me? Are we playing this game where this doesn't want to work? Can y'all can, oh, it's facing the wrong way. That's one thing. So yeah, there we go. Y'all saw the wrong thing. So who knows what y'all saw? Okay, cool. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I have my notes, because I don't want to. My goal is not to dilly dally or go too off the range a little bit. I'm trying to make it to where y'all can see the hens a little bit more. I have a group of them behind me. Hold on. Let me go out a little bit further. So y'all can at least see the hens and me. Okay. So here we go. It's a little chilly here today. Can y'all still hear, or am I yelling? I am probably yelling. Can y'all still hear me? I can get closer. Oh, thank you. Do you like my clogs, my forever clogs? Hi, Legendary. Hi, Auntie Mamas. Hey, Aunties. Hi, sister. You're still on hold with UPS? Well, good luck with UPS. I do know the UPS person. He's the same person that ran for city council or the school board, so I do know him. I can just ask him. Outdoor living, good to see you. Queen, good to see you. Hopefully y'all can hear. I did not bring my mic out, but let me know if I need to get closer. I don't have his number. I can just go up to the school. Is the volume good? Give me a 1 if the volume's okay. So Billy is saying, where's my mic? I can go get my mic. Okay, y'all look at the chickens, and I'll go get my mic. Okay, some are saying the volume is perfect. I'll go get my mic. Okay, friends, let me mute the mic. Yes, I know you're very disgruntled right now. Life is hard being a hen. Life is very hard being a hen. Okay. How about now? Is that better? And then I don't yell. Okie dokie, friends. Hey, Vintage, good to see you. Hardrine, good to see you. Mental Raccoon, good to see you, sir. Traveling T, good to see you. And Queen Auntie's Real Outdoor Living. Okay, good to see everybody. I always forget there's like an 11-second delay. Okay, so I do have a script. It is good to see everyone. Make sure y'all are connecting with one another. Hello there, Harriet. So right now, tonight's going to be a collection of things to give updates about. I think the biggest one, again, welcome in everyone. And as I see new people come in, I'll do this to wave to you. It's not to say I'm not going to acknowledge you, but I like to recognize when new people come in the room, and then I'll definitely try to acknowledge in the chat. But I do want to kind of talk about just very briefly. Many of y'all saw the post where I said that I'm kind of just needing to sort of not necessarily scale back my support, but how I support, but also kind of scale back how much I do on a daily basis as it relates to YouTube. And I was in the live with Beautiful I Am Colored. Some of y'all know her as Evelyn. Her handle name is Beautiful I Am Colored. And it's just kind of comforting to know in a weird way that she's been kind of going through the same decision-making process. And so with that, I am going to do like a weekly live. That's an update. So more than likely I'll stick with Thursdays as best as I can. And it will just be an opportunity. I'll give chicken updates, any major chicken updates that happen, any major gardening updates that happen. And then my Zepbound journey, I'll share that with y'all. And then I'll also, if there's any news related to my type 1 diabetes. The thing is, the type 1 diabetes community is more lively on TikTok and Instagram, but I'm not on those platforms. So, here I am. So y'all get to hear about type 1 diabetes, even if that's not your jam. And Nick, you're here. Nadine, you are here. So now it's too loud? Okay, Mr. Russian, I don't know. I don't know how I can support you in this moment because now you're saying it's too loud. I'm probably too loud. So I don't know how to best support you right now. Move the mic away. It is too loud. It's probably because I am a loud person. I know how to project. Hold on. How about now? Is that better? I'm echoing because my volume's up. How about now? It is. Oh, for the love that is all things holy. How about now? Is it better? Better this way, better that way. Better. Always a critic, right? Always a critic, Prue. Okay. But don't yell in the mic. I just know how to project. I have a dear sister who's in the chat that taught me how to project my voice. Yeah, we all want to pet the chicken. I'll grab one in a minute. Anyway, okay. So with my channel, I'm going to do weekly updates that will cover a number of things. Not all the time, because if there's nothing to update about Zepbound, if there's nothing to update about the chickens, I don't know that you're going to always get chicken and garden updates. That's probably guaranteed. But then anything else that I want to update about versus just every minute of the week. Let me just go live. I'm kind of stepping away from this need to go live every day and all this other stuff. I will do a second live if I'm not going live on someone else's channel. Then I will do a second live during the week, and that will either be cooking. It may be out in the garden because we do have more vegetables that would like more than likely when we put the tomatoes in the ground, I'll go live because I do want to show everyone how my husband, Wild Bill, does how he does his tomatoes and everything. Come here. Hold on. Come here. This is Arizona. Okay. So I do want to go. So I will go live like when we do the tomato bed and stuff like that. And then I'll go live when, like if I want to cook something, things like that. Okay. Bye. So those things I will go live for. Like I said, my goal is not to do more than twice a week. Probably the only time I would do twice a week is if I'm going to be on someone else's channel. Since I'm not going to be getting those watch hours, if I'm on somebody else's channel, then I'll go live my week. Like I said, I just needed to take a step back, and I'm just being perfectly transparent. Just because, there's this weird thing called non-YouTube life that I need to try to focus on. So that's that. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Hey, Gray, good to see you. Let's see, who am I missing? Anissa, good to see you. Were you live to? Oh yeah, Unique. I don't think she was live today. I didn't see her. Hey, Chris, good to see you. Grays, I saw you. Okie saw you. Anissa, yep. Yeah, they're pretty. It's they're about to go roost, so they're getting kind of ready for the day. Okay, Red Devil. Hey, Red Devil, good to see you, sir. Okay, and Nadine, good to see everybody. So that's kind of the biggest thing related to channel. So as far as chickens go, yes, all 5 roosters are still here. You probably see Alex is in the background because Alex lives outside now. I think I shared a short, and I've shared with y'all more than once that no matter how many times I try to put Alex in the bachelor pad, Alex still insists on jumping out of said goat pen. He knows how to climb out of the goat pen. So I just let Alex run around. He has a kennel that he sleeps in at night. And so that's where he goes at night. He's safe, he's protected, and he's fine. Karasik and Derek are in the aviary. I let them walk around all day. They are doing fine. Nothing has bothered them. Thankfully, nothing has bothered them. And then Owen and Mark stay in the goat pen. So I understand that in the larger sense of that may not be the wisest or the best decision for them, but it's the decision that sometimes we have to make the better decision for our lovely animals. So that's everything with the chickens. I do have it figured out for now. Let's see. It's just funny the other ones do not do it. It's mainly size. Alex learned a long time ago. So one night, y'all see this fence right here. This is a standard oil line fence. So it's what, 8? Okay, y'all correct me because I'm not going to get this right. I think it's what, 8 feet tall, whatever. He learned how to put his feet on each of the rungs, and then he just climbs up. So he's gotten like on top, like he has done it once. He hasn't done it since I've put him out now, but he can actually climb. If he figures it out one day, he can climb on the other side and get back in here. He just hasn't done it. Again, thankfully, right? So there just needs to be peace among these hens. I mean, the hens don't like it either. A few of the hens are actually quite upset. Joe, especially my broody hen, you can see she's running over to Alex now. She really dearly wants to be near her rooster. So that's all about roosters. I am still planning to rehome 2 of them. It's going to be Derek and Karasik. I'm going to rehome. I have leave next week, and so I'll do it sometimes then. So that means I'm going to keep 3 roosters. So 3 roosters need at least minimum 10 hens. So big breaking news, I am going to get either 4 or 5 more hens. I reached out to my hen lady, and I'm going to get 4 more hens. Okay, so let's see. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Does Arizona like the tea? I've not given them tea, but they do like herbs. Actually, chickens, and I'm going to plant some herbs around here. They like mint leaves. They like herbs and all that good stuff. So, but I don't, does Arizona like, but she doesn't like the tea. Hey, Grant, good to see you. Let's see, Crazy, he's learning. Yeah, he's really good at escaping. He's very, very good at escaping. Okay, so that's the journey as it relates to the chicken update. Like I said, I am going to get 4 or 5 more hens. They are going to be of age. They're going to be a little bit older. And then my new girls, the girls that were born in November, they're over here. But I did officially name them once I confirmed that the last one was a hen. But their names are basically going to be Harriet, Prue, and I always forget the last one. Sister, where are you? Harriet, Prue, and Penny. Harriet, Prue, and Penny are going to be their names. And actually, I don't know. Yeah, they're over here. So I'll take a picture, and I know you met Arizona T, but I guess it's not the UPS truck is here, sister. It's less about that I missed the joke than it is, y'all know I named my chickens after Grey's Anatomy characters. Sorry, I'm a linear thinker, so it's not to say I did not get the joke. It's like y'all know why I named these chickens. So that's kind of why my brain, my brain doesn't, my brain takes its own bunny trails, but it doesn't take other people's bunny trails as well. So that's the update about the chickens. So let me move on to then the garden. So yeah, so the package is being delivered right now, sister. So hopefully y'all don't have to fret over the package anymore, because we're always getting packages. Okay. So yeah, so let's go. We are going to now go to. I see you. I'm here. Does it need to be signed? No, I got one I need to check. I think I gave you the wrong box. Oh, sweet Lord. Hold for a second. I see you. Okay. So, sister, this probably isn't the best time. So, unfortunately, y'all's package delivery is kind of messing things up. I'm going to put y'all on mute real quick. Just watch the chickens. Okay, real life. Okay, everything got sorted out. So everything worked out. Okay. Something about a new system, how it's scanned, etc., etc. Okay, so here are the new hens. So this is Harriet. Harriet is a Marin. She is another copper Marin mix, but also barred rock. So Jules is also a Marin. So those are two Marins. They lay the dark chocolate brown eggs. This one right here is Prue. She is more than likely a pure barred rock. Harriet is a Marin. Hey, Jackies. So that's a pure barred rock, more than likely there. And then this is Penny. Penny, as of right now, is a hen. We're going to work with that. There's still days. I don't know if it's a hen, but we're going to go with that. She's a hen. She is a olive egger hen. And that's why it's kind of confused, because olive eggers kind of look like, so her mother, just to give you why it's kind of confusing as to what Penny is. Her mother is Olivia, and they kind of have rooster-like tails with not really tails, but saddle feathers. So that's her mother, Olivia. Some of y'all met Olivia. Olivia does not like to be on camera, but they kind of have saddle-looking feathers. which is typical, you know, just longer feathers near their butt. So, okay, so we're going to go garden talk. Hey, Reese, good to see you, sir. Okay, what's not better? I don't know what's not better. Okay, so again, that is Harriet right there. She likes following me. I'm going to leave my water out there. Nope. I'm going to bring my water. Okay, we're going to do a garden update, and then we'll get back to Zepbound and Zepbound, and then what other stuff is going on, because this isn't going to be a forever long live. So as much as, yeah, this isn't going to be a forever long live, but I do want to do my updates and call it a day. So let me give you a garden update. So currently, some of y'all saw the seeds we planted for the tomatoes. And so right now the tomatoes are just basically growing, getting stronger. We have had them outside so they can get used to the outside weather. Oh, we actually have, I don't know if baby girl's out here, but we actually have some roses already. That's kind of fun. I did do Mr. Russian well before you. Probably, you may have known about me, but you didn't really follow me then. I did a 25-hour live. Here's another rose. I did do the hatching of when the roosters or the chickens that were hatched in November. I did a 25-hour live for that. But because I did not download it immediately, it didn't save. So it just says forever processing. Hi, Linda. Yeah, but I did do a 25-hour live stream. Okay. Oh, see, I knew they would recover. Wild Bill was worried about the peppers because it actually got cold overnight. And so some of the pepper plants kind of got shocked with the cold, but they're doing just fine. He had to kind of boost them up with rocks. So here are our tomatoes. I mean, this leaf is... So I'm going to bring them in tonight. So these are the mini tomato. This is that purple cayenne pepper. And then these are the beautiful tomatoes that are coming up. It's such a Wild Bill just has a pretty specific process to get his tomatoes just right. And so hopefully the wind does not kill these things once they're up and going. So we still need to get some, hey Tiffany. So these are the, let's see, Linda. Yes, Linda, you were there for that hatch. So yeah, a lot of people on here were here for that hatch. But yeah, it was a 25-hour live stream. It was pretty, I still think it still has, for what it was, it still has the most watch hours for what it was. There's my mints. I have not put them in the ground yet. Oh, some of those mints already kind of killed over. So I'm going to have to bring those inside. Mint is a weed, so it'll be fine. Okay, so let's go into the garden. So I'll give you an update on the garden, and then we'll sit on the back porch and do the other updates. Let me actually turn off the Ring camera real quick. Okay. Here we go. A lot of the trees have blooms on it. It's really nice. The Mexican cherry tree is blooming. Oh. And this is why I don't like the microphone, because it falls off. Okay. So some of y'all were here with me when I planted this stuff here. So we have oregano. We have some kale. There's some kale there too. There's some kale. I may separate those and replant them. I still don't know what's going on with my non-existent spinach. I did plant some more seeds yesterday. Here is some broccoli that we planted a few weeks ago. So this is the broccoli that I bought from the nursery, because I always do seeds and then I always do some saplings. That's the kale I pulled up from the ground. That is lemon balm, BALM. And then here are all our Swiss chard. Actually, there's some chard here. This is the rainbow chard. Could have sworn I had some more rainbow chard. More than likely the birds got to it. Birds like to get to stuff. There's some more Swiss chard. Swiss chard. And then we have beets. And the beets are in various states of beetness, I guess. Here's the garlic. And onions. Onions I planted a few days ago. Oh, I did a vlog for that, the onions. And then I put some Brussels sprouts in the ground. Here's some Brussels sprouts. Hi, Billy. And then look at my sugar snap peas. These are really, the sugar snap peas are my favorite thing in the garden because they basically just become my snacks. So y'all saw these get planted. Y'all saw when they were first coming up from the ground, and they are doing quite lovely. So what will happen with the sugar snap peas, y'all see that vine coming up. It will slowly start to curl and find something to latch on to. Hi, Jenny. Good to see you. Hey again, Grant. So this one's already starting to curl and find its way to the fence so that it can attach itself, and then it'll just grow up, 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 up. Wild Bill added dirt to this bed. This is where the peppers will go. Peppers will go here. Tomatoes will go in the back bed with the garlic and the onions. And onions and garlic are good companion plants for both peppers and for tomatoes. This right here is more than likely, actually, that's not true. Actually, this might be a pepper. We'll find out. We will find out. Yeah, I love seeing seedlings sprout. And then this is our strawberries that we still have. We got to cut this bed in half because otherwise the squash is not going to. So this started out as 6 small strawberries over here, and now it's taken over half the bed now. So we got to stop the runners at some point. That's the garden update. So I've not taken you through our life of foraging yet, but a couple of guesses as to what these are. Those of you in Texas ought to know. Those of you in the South ought to know what these little flowers are. Take one good guess about what all these little flowers are. Especially my, I'll clone them. Any guesses? I know it's about 11-second delay, but if you're from the South, you ought to know they're not actually bad flowers. They are a weed, but they're basically going to turn into, they're not blackberries, but they're basically blackberries. So, we get free stuff for pies. Yeah, so all those little white flowers, they're everywhere, will turn into little berries that we can make. They're similar, they're in the same family as, what do you call it? As blackberries. I don't know why I'm thinking on the name of them, but I'm blanking on the name of them. Anyway, they don't have a scent. They're just berries. Do I grow anything for the chickens? Not per se for the chickens, but they do get stuff. Like they'll get kale, they'll get broccoli leaves. I am going to put some herbs in their area so they can eat on those as well. Hey again. It's not China berry. Hold on. Let me tell you, because it's going to drive me nuts. Not telling you the name. Texas berries. Texas wild berries. Dewberries. They're called dewberries. American beautyberry or Texas persimmon are the different names, but they're basically dewberry wild blackberries. Now, the only thing we have to be careful about is that, snakes like to hang out with them. But, snakes are fine. But here they're called dewberries. So, yeah. Okay. So, let's talk Zepbound. I want my notes because I don't want to go. I'll talk about the diabetes and the update kind of at the same time. If you have questions for me, feel free to ask. I know I was in Saint's live earlier, Saint struggling, and he was like, I have so many questions. Like, well, I'm going live, but I think he's still live right now. He's doing his golfing game, streaming his golf game. So I don't know if he's in the chat or not. But he said he had questions for me, but he may have to jump in another live. But if y'all have questions for me, feel free. I mean, I'll answer them if I know the answer to them. So we'll talk sort of weight loss journey and kind of this will go into why I kind of had to make the decision that I made to kind of reduce what I'm doing on my channel. So I am on Zepbound. I'm in pretty confident I'm week 35 of Zepbound. I'm using all my husband's little air gun stoppers to prop this up real quick. But I didn't bring my stand out here. Okay, there we go. Okay, there. So I think I'm on week 35 of Zepbound journey. I'm currently on the dose of 7.5. When I last reported to you, I think I was at like 207.2. Let's go with that. As of today, well, not today, as of yesterday, because I weigh on Wednesday. As of Wednesday, I was at 207.2. And as of Wednesday, I am at 210.4. So 3.4 gain. Let's talk about it. Why did I gain 3.4 pounds? Because people gain weight on a weight loss journey. The reality, because I can literally pinpoint it to the day that the weight gain started. Like, I chose because I wasn't hungry for anything in the house. I just wanted soup. And so we had some packages of ramen noodles in there. So I think 2 days straight, I ate ramen noodles for lunch. So what do we know about ramen noodles? I think, like, I don't even want to know the sodium count on ramen noodles. But probably worse than the ramen noodles, because I've eaten ramen noodles before on this journey and have been fine. I've not been drinking my water like I need to. I've not been following Harjarine's water schedule for like probably the past week or so, week and a half. And then I've not been consistent with my workouts. So that's a reality. And this will catch up with you, right? It always catches up with you. And probably worse than all of those things is probably for my choice, me choosing, I have probably, with the time change for me, the adjustment I don't get fatigued with the time change adjustment. I just tend to have the same amount of energy at, what is now 11:30 that I had at what was just the day before 10:30. So my body does not feel the time change in the sense of I need to be going on bed on time. And so there's been probably 2 or 3 nights in the row that I probably have not gone to bed. I've not gone to bed probably until like 2:30 or 3 at night. And then I wake up at 4:30 every day, no matter what. Like I wake up without an alarm at the same time every single day. So I've not been, so for those of us on Zepbound, what did I say? I had a good amount of sodium, more than one day in a row. I've not been doing my activity like I need to. I've not been drinking my water to flush out all that good sodium, right? And then I've not been getting my sleep. So all those things. Hi, Coffee Cake. Good to see you. So all those things sort of correlate to your body is going to do what your body does when you do all those things. So they do have a gain this week. Not the end of the world. Have gains. Gains happen. This isn't anything that I fret over. I don't, even when I sleep, I don't necessarily do 7 hours. Hey, Darium, I just did my kind of weight loss weight Zepbound journey. I did have a gain this week, and it probably is attributed to the fact haven't been doing my water, haven't been doing my workout activity. I've not been getting my full amount of sleep. And then what else did I say? Activity. And then, water activity has not been there. Had a good amount of sodium this week through my 2 or 3 packages of ramen noodles. And then also I've not been getting the sleep and everything. So even so for me, sleep, I usually go to bed about, my normal time to go to bed is about, 10 or 11 o'clock is when I go to rest. And then, like I said, I wake up at about 4:30. So that's sort of the story of my world, that's it's reality. It's just 1 week of an entire lifetime. So it's nothing I freak out about. Like I'm not in the world. Oh my God, do I need to try to titrate up? Do I need to do this? Do I need to fast? Do I need to do this? No, I just need to do the things I know that works for my body. So that's the news there. As far as my type 1 goes, my doctor, so my last visit with my physician, my endocrinologist, was in September. In September, and I'll talk about this in a minute because some of y'all are going to probably be like, what? He said what? So my HbA1c, which is the hemoglobin A1C test, which is a measure of, it's a 3-month average of your blood glucose. So again, a 3-month average of your blood glucose is your hemoglobin A1C. In September, it was 6.8. And sister, if you're still on, I don't know if you're still on because I know you have meetings. If you want to put in the chat sort of for diabetics, what they recommend, I can tell you here in a second. Typically with type 1 diabetics, most endocrinologists are happy for type 1 diabetics to be under 7. They just say under 7. And then I'll get to what my doctor specifically said in a minute. And so that was September. And when I did my A1C test this past week, it was 6.6. And so he's very happy with that. And so why above 6? Because I kind of made a comment to him of, I told him, he's like, it's going to be interesting once I hit my whatever goal weight, I'm aiming for, how this will sort of impact my A1C and things like that. And he looked me straight in the eye and was like, your A1C is fine. He said, we actually don't recommend that type 1 diabetics go under 6. Why is that? So I said at the beginning of this conversation that the hemoglobin A1C is an average of 3 months of blood sugar. So what do we know about averages? Not to get into for my mathematicians in the room, what do we know? How do averages work? Like what would need to happen for an A1C to be under 6 for a 3-month average? Saint, you were there. Oh my God, I said your name and you appeared just like a saint. So I'm not going to make y'all do math this late at night. So what we know about, hey, Doris, Doris came over. So what we know ultimately about averages is that for my A1C to be under 6, and this is what my endocrinologist said, and this is what we know about averages, I would need to have a lot of lows. And what do we know about, and I'm talking blood glucose right now, but being type 1 diabetic. And so what we know about type 1s is we don't want type 1s to have a lot of low blood sugar. So in order for my A1C to ever be under 6, to ever be in the 4s or the 5s, I would have to have a lot of lows, and that's actually not good for type 1 diabetics to have lows, right? So he is very happy with where my blood glucose is right now. At 6, or my hemoglobin A1C is at right now. And then, we then add the conversation. I said, well, what is kind of your opinion? What does maintenance look like for your type 1s? And he goes, well, typically with type 1. So remember, the biggest difference between type 1s and type 2 is type 2 diabetics are dealing with insulin resistance. So their body still produces insulin. However, that insulin, because of body habitus, other metabolic issues, things like that, that insulin is not able to function appropriately in the body. So they produce the insulin, but it's not able to function appropriately, right? For type 1 diabetics, insulin is little to zero insulin is being produced by the body. So we require manufactured insulin, hence why I run around with this insulin pump all the time. So this is like an external pancreas. So in this little vial is manufactured, this is high value market manufactured insulin. Unfortunately, a lot of people are struggling with it because the cost of insulin is ridiculous. Insulin should be free. It's like blood. It should be free. Anyway, off the soapbox. So with that, it's not to say type 1 diabetics do not have insulin resistance. I've had it for over 30 years. So insulin resistance is something that I have struggled with. But as you lose weight, there is less resistance. So my endocrinologist even said, well, typically with type 1s, when you lose the weight, and this happened with when I lost weight with Weight Watchers, the need to, he has said that the need to continue on a GLP-1 may not be necessary because your insulin sensitivity will help your body function like it's supposed to. So he said he's had a lot of his type 1s actually go off of the GLP-1s because their insulin sensitivity has returned. So that's kind of the, we'll see what happens. So yeah, so Grant, you're an account, you deal with math. So imagine, so in order to be under 6, I would have to trend low more than I would have to trend normal to be at 6. Because let's just see. Let me just give you big numbers real quick. Again, it's all about averages, right? And where are my baseball people? It's all about averages. There should be baseball people in the room, right? How averages work. So let me show you this picture. It may not show well on TV, but here's your typical. Okay, so friends, zoom in. We'll try to do this real quick. Okay, so there's your typical A1C chart, right? So understand that if you're sitting at, anywhere between, he's happy with 6, because if you're sitting there at 5.7 and 6.4, that means your glucose on average is ranging 117 to 137. To be in the 5s, now again, for those of you who are type 2, that's different, right? Or a normal or a non-diabetic, that's different, right? So if you're looking at 5.7 and under, that means your average glucose is trending less than 117. So for a type 1 diabetic to be in the 5s, it's not to say it's impossible to be in the 5s of the type 1, but it means you're trending low. And the reason why Zepbound and all these medicines are not approved for type 1s, the reason why it took 3 years for an insulin pump to get approved for type 1 diabetics is because they don't want type 1 diabetics to have low blood sugar all the time. Like I would be passing out. Hi, Teddy D. Hi, Granny. Hi, Liliana. Let me make sure. And again, Coffee, Darium, Doris. Again, you don't want type 1 diabetic. They don't want type diabetics trending more low than they are trending normal, or, that's the reality of it. I know for those of you who are type 2s, the goal to get to, under 6 and 5 is that, because that is the goal for type 2 diabetics. And that's why we have to say type 1. We have to say type 2. We have to say LADA. We have to say gestational. We can't just say diabetes when we talk about diabetes. We've got to be very specific when we talk. Sorry, I'm getting excited. Okay, so have you been following the islets? I have followed that. Yep. Is that interest to you or applicable? I'm not opposed to transplants. I'm not a fan of surgery. So, but I wouldn't say no to that. If it continues to be successful, I'm happy to do it. So, but I do like to see the success rate, because if I'm going to go under, I've only ever had one surgery, and I went into the office with a giant notepad asking questions. So yeah, so that's my update on insulin and all the things. What questions do you have for me? What questions do we have? Oh, did Dean come in? Hi, Dean. I don't think I saw you. Hi, Nadine. Okay, but I'll leave the rest for I'll leave the rest of this time. I have about 15 minutes before I run away. Are there questions either about Chicken Garden or Zepbound? I think I have a good amount of people in the room. I do have some additional questions I can ask myself or ask y'all. I could ramble on about something else, but that's not my goal tonight, to ramble on. But what questions do you have for me? Ask a question. I'm always a fan of questions. So I'll jump to Darium. How are you feeling? It's a fury of things happening at once, but how are you really doing? How am I really doing? I need a vacation. That's how I'm doing, Darium. I need a vacation. For reasons that you and I can talk about offline, I did not take one vacation last year. No, we did not vacation at all last year. I need to see a different part of the world and experience humans. So yeah, I need a vacation. So that is how I'm fine. I'm blessed. I am. Do I have frustrations when it comes to things that are in front of me? Am I very I'm not. I don't want to get too far into this. Am I very annoyed that I don't even want to say what I want to say here. Am I annoyed about things that are happening in the world and that whew, yeah, I am. But other than that, I'm well, and I just need to go somewhere and take a vacation. Um, that's what I need to do because I have a lot of leave. I have 166 hours of user lose, and and so I need to use them. So let's see. How are you feeling? Okay, that's Darium. They're reporting your year one success rate at 70 to 80 with the year five. Interesting. That's a crazy that it drops that much. So you might as well have to be back on insulin. Yeah, I'll let the study happen for about 10 years and we'll see what happens. And by 10 years, maybe we have the technology to go into a new bodies. Who knows? We don't know what type of technology we'll have. What have you stopped eating altogether since you have been under the doctor's care? Um, that's a good question. I don't restrict what I eat. We had rice this week. We had potatoes this week, white potatoes, white rice. We Usually if I'm doing any restriction, it's just the amount of food I'm eating, not the type of food I'm eating. I'm not really doing a whole lot of alcoholic beverages, but that just has a lot to do with just being a type 1 diabetic and I need to protect my kidneys. So I'm trying to stay away from that. I'll have an occasional one for a birthday or two. But beyond sort of things I'm restricting, it's more about what I'm able to, with being on Zepbound, it's just an issue of just, I'm not, by the time I've eaten my protein, it's hard to get to the other things, but I know I need to eat my veggies and stuff like that. But I like food, basically. I love food. What is understood doesn't need to be. Thank you. I appreciate you, Darium. I appreciate that. Hey, Rodney, good to see you. Good to see you, sir. What's that stat for Amy? That's for the islets so the part of the pancreas that produces insulin. It's a tiny little thing called the islets of Langerhans, and they are the ones that is the item in the pancreas that actually produces the beta cells in which insulin comes from and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's it. Hey, Auntie Mama, Teddy D. So did Grace ask her question? I'm not sure that and thank you for the gifts. I do see them. Oh, wait, there's all this new stuff. You can play a game. Oh my God, have y'all seen this on the lives? There's like this thing called Playables. You can play a whole game. This is so cool. Sorry, distraction. I don't know if y'all seen that. There's like a little icon that you can play a game with the chat. I'm not going to do that though. You can do a puzzle. You can do some, I don't know, hide and seek. You can play an emoji game. Oh my gosh, you can play a word game. Wow, you can play a game now. Okay, sorry, squirrel. Grace, did you ask the question? I don't see it. Oh, Teddy, can you teach me how to garden or at least how to keep? Yes, I'd be happy to. My sister is better at the house plants than I am. But I'm happy to teach you how to garden. We'll connect and we can like do a collab one day. I'll go on your channel and we'll talk ahead of time and kind of I'll let you know what to get and stuff like that, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, but I'd be happy to teach you how to garden. Have you ever eaten one of my chickens? Not one of my current chickens, but growing up, we let's see, but the trip back might have erased the what is it? You went on, did I go? Oh yeah. We did go on vacation. We went to Lake Tahoe in November. Yeah, but that trip was it took me 2 hours to get home. We got the plane diverted to we had to divert the plane to Shreveport, which is literally an hour from me. So we had to call an Uber, which took 2.5 hours to get back to where I was. So it was insane. Yeah, that's probably the trip back probably did. Have I ever eaten one of my chickens? Not the chickens that I've gotten since I've been an adult, but we did have to we had some Rhode Island red roosters growing up that were better protect dogs than our dogs were. They would always chase the neighbor. There was 4 of them, and so we had to process those. So I have eaten, and yeah. And if that was a decision I ever made, that would not be something I would I would share on YouTube. People do it, but I wouldn't do it. So that's just me. But yeah, I've eaten. I mean, we hunted as kids. I actually, if I had a choice on how I obtain food, especially protein, it would be to get it from nature versus the grocery store. If I had, if we were living that kind of life, but it's not something we have to do. Okay. So I have about 10 minutes left. Let me make sure there was nothing else I wanted to update. Feel free to keep throwing the questions in. Saint, I don't know if you're still in here, but feel free. I know you said you had questions. Let me make sure. I did the garden. I did the Zepbound. Already talked about that. Okay. So yeah, so that's what this weekly update will be. It will just cover, like I said, the things that happened to this week on any one of these journey things. There's really no news on on my gamer or my Fortnite experience, other than that I need continued practice. That's probably my Fortnite experience right now. Is that I just am continuing to practice and having fun and having a good time there. What else have I been doing? I haven't done any more testing of YouTube stuff in a while. Oh, hey Peppy, good to see you. And so that's kind of the life there. Let's see. Let's see, Amy, do you feel that you worrying less without your blood sugar having, okay. Do you feel that you're worrying less without your blood sugar and having really lows now that you're, my biggest concern was having lows on Zepbound, but after we made that adjustment, when I got on the initial adjustment I had to make when I first started, after that, I thought I would have to make more adjustments, because when I did Weight Watchers, every time I lost 10 pounds, I would have to make an adjustment to my insulin settings, how much insulin I was taking. But because the insulin pump basically functions on auto correction, it stops when when it reads too low, it stops. When it reads too high, it does auto corrections and things like this. My insulin actually has been pretty decent. And so I don't think I'll be able, actually, hold on. Let me see if I can show you. So, my blood sugar stays pretty, that's not going to work. My blood sugar actually stays pretty stable. And so, yeah, I mean, that's what I kind of shared with my endocrinologist is like, I said, it's less about the weight loss and maintenance. It's like, I've never had the best management of blood sugar than I have had, in my life. And so I just want to stay on this so I have good blood sugar. Hey, Crooked Peach. I just want to stay on this so that my blood sugar remains stable. And that's when he kind of got into the conversation about what he has seen. Oh, there's a blue jay. There's a beautiful blue jay already. What he has seen with his type 1 diabetic patients is that once they hit goal weight, so to speak, and they maintain that maintenance, because that insulin sensitivity is present, because again, I'm getting manufactured insulin based on what my blood sugar readings are, as opposed to someone who is type 2, or who is type 2 diabetic dealing with insulin resistance, unless they are on insulin, right? That's the caveat. If they're on insulin, then they may share a similar story. And then remember, there can be insulin resistance that has nothing to do with being a type 1 diabetic. Type 2 diabetic. That someone could be insulin resistant and not have type 2. Insulin resistance happens because, again, it's a hormone and metabolic process. There can be other things contributing to insulin resistance. And so with that, because my insulin sensitivity has returned and I'm actively getting insulin all the time, my body is using the insulin like it's supposed to once the weight loss is gone. So what he has said is that his type 1s tend to do pretty well not being on the GLP-1 once they hit their goal weight, and they are, again, managing maintenance, right? And so they're doing the portion control, they're eating the things they're supposed to be eating, they're getting the activity in, they're getting the sleep they're supposed to have, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll see what happens, right? We shall see what happens. Okay. So let's see. So it is getting dark here. I don't see any more questions. So that means there may not be more to ask. I think I answered all the things I was going to answer. Let's see. So yeah, so that's the update. Do they test your Yes, they do test my vitamin levels. The only deficiency that I have had or have is vitamin D. So that's the only vitamin deficiency that I currently have. So I do take, you know me, Peach. I'm out between being out in the sun, and I do take vitamin D for that. I don't do K because my vitamin K, like I said, those levels are good. So yeah, but I usually get that test once a year unless there's something indicating I need it more. That's, the beauty of being a type. I will say this: the beauty of being a type 1 diabetic is you're getting tested by. So they test for all the things, right? And oh well, and I told y'all because I did my mammogram. I did my mammogram. I'm good to go. That's a non. Yeah, okay. So, dudes, if you want to close your ears, even though guys can get breast cancer, so this is important for them too. So the non-scale victory, and I think someone else shared this on their channel. The non-scale victory this week, when it comes to the world of mammograms, is I no longer have dense breasts. So that's kind of nice. So, and what that means for mammograms is typically, usually after a mammogram, sometimes you'll get a strangely worded observation that due to the dense tissue in your breast and da 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 da, can you please come back for another or more in-depth scan or whatever else under the sun? I didn't have to do this year because I no longer have dense breasts, so that's kind of nice to know. Okay, let's see. Not to make you the poster child and knowing that T1D is not a monolith. It's not. Question. Not to make you. How much do you take? I think I'm only with my vitamin D. Initially, when I was diagnosed as deficient, I think I was doing the 3, but I think I'm down to just maybe the 2, if not the 1K a day. I need to check the bottle. Let's see. What would you consider? They're still squeezed. They really need to come up with a different machine or a blood test, kind of like prostate cancer. It'd be nice to get a blood test, right? Anyway. But what advice would you give to a T1 considering these meds? 100% to work with their doctor. Because again, my initial, the first day I took this medication, literally my blood glucose dropped like quickly and fast, right? So they've got to work with their endocrinologist, their primary, all those things. Hey, happy chickens. They've got to work with their medical team to be on these medications because of this concern about the loss. They need to kind of be mindful of how they titrate up. I know there was some controversy. I don't follow TikTok. Apparently there was some controversy about someone titrating up too quickly. They need to be mindful of that. And then they need to just make sure they have all the rescue, the glucose tabs or gels or whatever else that they're using is what I would say. So you take the 50,000 a week. Perfect. Yeah, I need to check the number. I get the bottle. I'm bad about checking what the amount is. I need to look. I remember Richard Roundtree and Michael Knowles had breast cancer. Yeah, men can get breast cancer. So it's important that they, while insurance is covering preventative care, get tested. That's the reality of these things. You've got to get tested. Let's see. I used to take 50,000 a week, but it's not the right vitamin D. It's D2 and not the stuff right now. So I take over. I know it's either 2 or 3. I know it's not just the regular vitamin D. I know because it does have a number. I think it's the D3, but I'll check. I'll check Cleared Peach and I'll put it in the comments here. So yeah. I will put it in the comments. Okay, so I'm at an hour. I don't want to keep y'all longer than that because I know there's other things. I know there's things I want to do. I have a meeting. I think I have another meeting, not on YouTube, starting in like an hour. So I need to eat. So I'm gonna go ahead and head out. But I appreciate you being here. Like I said, these will be weekly updates. So, and again, always garden, always chickens. My health journey for sure. And then I will do a second live during the week, which could be anything. It will be cooking. It will be either out in the garden doing something. Probably when I get these new chickens, I'll go live so y'all can meet the new chickens. And then, like I said, cooking. And then of course, occasionally when I play Fortnite, I'll make sure to stream my Fortnite and everything. But I appreciate y'all coming. I'm always appreciative of those who are here, those who are supporting. Make sure to support one another. And I don't know, I really enjoy each and every one of you and what y'all do. And I will see you around. That's the thing I want to say is I am present in your lives. So even if I'm not chatting a whole lot, it's because I am working, getting ready for work, or I'm just out in the garden doing things. So I'm not always looking at the chat. Now, if I hear something that I need to engage with, you'll see me in the chat. But other than that, if you see me do my yellow heart and cloud, that's me just saying I'm here, I'm watching, I'm just not chatting today. But it's not to say that anything is wrong, anything is whatever. It's just I've got to be able to focus on what is in front of me, but I want to be able to support you at the same time. And you know, I care deeply about each of you. So with that, have a good evening. Get back to your regularly scheduled program. I will see you around, and we'll see each other next week or in another live. Bye-bye.